We're at Victoire Boutique in West Wellington, which is sort of the west end of the center of Ottawa. And this is the second shop we opened. We opened the shop in 2010. And we love this space. It's a nice open shopping environment.
Well, we opened 8 years ago in a tiny, tiny store on Dalhousie Street. And in the 8 years, we've grown to now have 3 locations, so 2 in Ottawa, 1 in Toronto, a web store, and our own jewelry line. Our tagline is "Smitten with Canadian Design."
And we wanted to offer something that wasn't out there in the retail world, so both an environment that was really beautiful and inspiring, products that you don't find everywhere, i.e. Canadian design, and people who working with you who want you to find the right pieces. So a really open, friendly customer service environment.
For us, it's really about the connections in every facet of our business. So our connections with our customers, our connections with our designers, and our designers' connections with our customers. We see it all as a big circle, and we're all connected. And we love telling our customers about the story behind the pieces that they're buying and the stories of the people who made the pieces that they're buying. We love having connections with other businesses in the city. So that's really what motivates us every day.
People care about where their clothes come from. People care about who made them and in what circumstances. And I think that's bringing more people into the ethos of Victoire, of beautiful made things that are going to last for a really long time, that were made by makers who care about what they're making. Cash flow. It's always tricky. We're 2 young women who really started this business from nothing, and we've grown it to 3 locations and the web store and the jewelry line. So cash flow, it's always figuring out how to do the most with the little bit we have.
We're also trying to always think of innovative and creative ways to reach new customers and expand our customer base, to speak to new customers and get them interested in what we have to offer here.
So when we opened the West Wellington shop in 2010, we were opening in a new neighborhood, and we wanted to really fully integrate ourselves into the neighborhood and with new customers.
For us, direct mail was a great way to introduce ourselves to people who had never heard of what Victoire was and what we were all about, and get them interested and excited about our story before they even walked through the door. So that first time that they did come in, they already knew, that we support Canadian designers, we're passionate about our community. And what we did was we had a coupon that people had to bring in, like 10% off their first purchase. So we saw, people coming in with those. So we were really able to measure the success of our campaign and, chat with them and engage with them. And for maybe 95% of those people, it was their first time, walking through the door. So we were really able to, tell our story to a whole new audience.
Direct mail is also a great way to see your business in its fullness because it approaches everybody in your neighborhood or who you target. It's a great way to see, oh, the young mothers love our shop, the older women who are, executives love our shop, the young teenagers save up all their pennies and can come into our shop. So it really lets you see your full business and your full customer potential.
We're really keen on using social media as much as we can with our business, but to us, direct mail allows us to speak to an audience outside of our current sphere of influence. So it's great, it brings new people into the circle, and then we can engage with them by those mediums as well.
Direct mail is also really affordable. You can tailor the scope of what you want to do to what your business is comfortable trying out. Direct mail was a great way for us to bring new customers through our door in an affordable way. We're excited to use direct mail again because where our stores are located, the neighborhood around us knows about us now. But we live in such a vast city, and so many people who share an ethos with Victoire don't know about us yet. So direct mail is going to be a great way to reach out of our neighborhoods, and now with the web store, we are opened up to the whole country. And so it's really exciting for us to start thinking about ourselves as the store that sells Canadian design to all Canadians, and direct mail is going to be a great way for us to fulfill that wish.
Budget limitations is probably the #1 concern. We're a really bootstrap business, so every dollar counts. So, you know, we really can't afford to put money towards something that we don't know, you know, we can't see the results of, you know. So direct mail was great for us because we could actually see the response rate and measure it, and then, you know, put a dollar amount to what that brought into our business. So yeah, that's probably one of our biggest marketing challenges.
We're really excited about marketing. We have a lot of fun reimagining our business through different people's eyes and seeing what they'll think is interesting about us. It's always a fun exercise. It always gets us to see ourselves in a more defined way. And I think that's a great thing that the marketing process gives us as business owners. We love being VentureOne members because it's a great way to offer our customers a speedy and economic way to receive their purchases, and it's been really beneficial in that way. It's also a great way for the clerk at the mail office to know that we're insiders and to give him insight into our business and ways to package our parcels better, ways to send our packages better, and he's always full of tips for us, so it's great.
We've probably been VentureOne members since we opened shop 8 years ago. It was one of the first business, you know, decisions that we probably made. It was pretty much a no-brainer because you get better shipping standard for a lower price. So that was a pretty easy decision to make. So yeah, we've been VentureOne members since day 2 that we've been in business, basically.
When we first started thinking about opening an online shop, it was because customers kept mentioning to us how much they love what they find at Victoire and how they don't have anything like this in their town or in their region. And it started to just plant that seed that what we do is not just unique to the cities we're in, it's unique to the country and to the world as a whole.
Our brick and mortar business is still like the major part of our business. We just launched our e-commerce in November, but it's less than 10%.
The great thing for us about our e-commerce site is we can see the growth has already been exponential since we relaunched in November with Shopify. It's been a great way to really seize the moment of more people shopping online and more people shopping online for a variety of products. And so it still is a small component sales-wise of our business, but we feel the potential in it. It's something that we see the growth. Yeah. We see the growth. It's something that we really want to work towards making into a bigger part of our business. And so ask us that question in a year.
Yeah, exactly. Shopify was instrumental in us getting involved in the e-commerce game. We're really interested in new technologies, but not always capable of really taking advantage of them to their full capacity. So they really helped us out. First of all, it's a really user-friendly system, but their customer service is just out of this world. So it was just such a phenomenal experience developing that with them. The Shopify Teach-Up was so valuable to us. You know, we had been doing a lot of the work setting up the web store on our own, and it was just so great to be able to sit down with someone face to face and ask them, you know, all the questions that we had run into, and just have them show us really how simple and intuitive the system really is. You just can't replace that face-to-face interaction. So the Shopify Teach-Ups were just that like human component that just made learning so much easier.
And Shopify is such a flexible system that the Teach-Up is a really great opportunity to ensure that it's being tailored to exactly what you need, and so that your needs are being met by the system. And the gurus know how to do that better than anyone else.
Yeah, the gurus were really interested in hearing about how our business works and making the Shopify software, you know, work for us, so how we could tailor it and really maximize it to its best capacity. Shipping with Canada Post for us is really easy. At all of our locations, we're within a couple of blocks from Canada Post outlet, so it's really easy for us to go, you know, multiple times a week, talk with the clerk there and figure out the best shipping solutions for us. We really like to have the kind of business where we feel like we have neighborhood partners, and Canada Post is one of those neighborhood partners for us.